Alright, so I'm painting my trim and I'm going to be using a brush and a roller, and I'll explain why. So I like to use a brush. I find it applies a lot more paint at once than the roller does. The roller also splatters and shoots paint sometimes when you have a lot of paint on the roller. So I find it is quicker and easier to get a lot of paint on with the brush. But it also gets in to the profile of your trim. So this is a very basic profile. It's actually one of my favorites, the step bevel. The roller, the sponge roller, is able to get into that. But I just like to ensure that I'm getting right into that 90-degree lip there with the brush. And then I'm using the roller to give it that nice flat finish. A lot of trim paints now are self-leveling. The brush strokes will level out, they'll flatten out, and they'll disappear. I like to ensure that with the roller. It just flattens it out, gets rid of the brush strokes. Another thing I find the roller to be really good at is cleaning up the excess, so you don't have paint build up on your edges. Now at the end of everything, once it's cut, once it's installed, I've filled my nail holes, I've sanded my nail holes, I will be using a roller at the end to give it a finished coat. I find it quick and easy, so that is why I'm using a roller now, because I want to match my finish at the end. So if you were spraying your trim, you would in theory be skipping this step. Most guys that spray their trim, they will wait for it to be installed, then they will mask everything off and spray it while it's in. So, and you can paint your trim at the end. You don't have to necessarily do this stage. So you're not, if you don't paint your trim now, to paint your trim entirely at the end, which involves cutting into the wall or taping and masking things off just like you would if you were spraying. So I don't want to do that. I find it easy and quick to use a roller at the end. And it saves a lot of time and it saves a lot of headache to paint your trim now and then do a quick fresh up at the end, right? And really all you're trying to do is paint your nail holes and any scuffs and marks. So it's really important at this stage to get a good first coat. As I'm doing right now, you got to make sure that you get both sides, because both sides are exposed on your casing. On your baseboard, it's just where the profile is, right? That edge you got to make sure that you do. But on casing, you want to make sure that you get both edges. So that way, with the brush, I can get into all the profiles, especially if it's a Colonial or something with more profile. I can get in there with the brush and get more coverage that way, better coverage that way. And then with the roller, to give it that nice flat finish, or to help ensure that it gets a nice flat finish.